This is Brad from Argali, and I am getting ready to pack in right now for an early archery season mule deer hunt. And I've got all my gear laid out in front of me here, and I'm gonna walk you through everything that I'm gonna take on this hunt, and then I'm gonna show you how I pack it up in my pack. So I'm gonna start on the left side here, and I'm gonna work right. And I'm gonna start first with my sort of optics and trekking pole setup. So I've got our CarbonX trekking poles on the left side there. I've got 2 water bottles that I'm gonna be packing in because it's August, it's hot outside. For my glassing setup on this trip, I've got the Vortex Razor 65 mil spotter, and then I've got the Vortex Razor UHD 12 by 50 binos. Normally I love my 10 by 42s, but on a mule deer trip like this, particularly where I'm gonna be glassing a little bit longer distances, I'm bringing just a little bit extra magnification on this trip. And in terms of like tripod optic setup, I'm trying out this AZAC bino adapter on this trip. Really like this thing. I've been using it scouting this summer. I've also got the AZAC what's this, backcountry light tripod, and then I've got the Tracer LP pan head on this tripod setup. Really light. Been really digging this setup right here. Okay, so let me go through all the small items that I'm carrying here. So I've got toothbrush, toothpaste. Like I like to say, gingivitis never takes a day off. I've got my stocking socks for making the final approach. I've got a dark energy battery here for my cell phone cord. I've got a SOG mini, I think it's like Power Pint Mini, I think is what this is called, tool. I've got a set of Allen keys, 3 extra AAA batteries for my headlamp. I've also got an extra rangefinder battery here as well. Couple lighters, chapstick, black diamond spot headlamp, tags and licenses, Vortex sunglasses, which I'm wearing right here. I've got an eye patch. So I've been having real problems when I stare through a spotting scope for hours in a day, getting my eye gets really blurry and it just doesn't go away. So in order to relax my off eye, I'm gonna be using an eye patch on this trip to kind of help relax that eye, also keep it dark. So anyway, something I'm trying out. Got the all-in setup here for digiscoping, MSR wind burner with a 4-ounce fuel canister inside here. I've got our Ranger TI 450 mil cup, long handled spoon, always. I've got a trash bag in case we're packing out meat. Just like to have this to keep my gear from getting super bloody. And then I've got a little bit of paracord, FHF Bino Harness. I got the Vortex Ranger 4000 rangefinder in there. I've got our Alpine 20-degree bag and a regular here with me on my left. And then I think that's it for over there. Water filtration. This is a platypus water filtration setup. I don't know what this one is called, but it's super light, handy. I've got 4 platy bladders I'm taking with me on this trip. Water is going to be pretty scarce. So more than likely, because we're going to be camping away from water, we're going to have to like set up camp and then go do a water run. And I just want to be able to bring plenty of water up to where we want to be, so I don't have to keep ducking down to get water. For kill kit, I've got our carbon MagnaCut knife, our Guide Series High Country pack. I got 1 game bag out here, which I'm going to use as a stuff sack for packing up. This is a really basic med kit. I've got some ibuprofen and some Sudafed on this trip because I have a cold, which is really unfortunate timing, but I don't really feel that great right now. We're about to pack in. So I've got some drugs to help keep me sane. And I've got some stuff for blisters in case I get a cut. I've got these My Medic. I think these things are fantastic. I talk about these all the time, these Z-Zips, which are great in case you get in a situation where you think you need stitches, like you can use these. Some gauze. I've got a little bit of tape in here. And then I've got some of these, which I really love. I always talk about these things too. My Medic, these are their super skin blister patches. I've used these for all manner of gear repairs, like patching up a hole in my down jacket, or obviously for blisters, they work really well. These are great, super lightweight. Always have a handful of those on hand as well. So that's my very basic med kit. For dinners, I've got Peak Refuel dinners. I've got some Swift instant coffee. I've talked about this stuff before, but this is really good instant coffee. I like a good cup of coffee in the morning. And then I've got all my lunches packed up in here. So this is a day's worth of food. Let me just open this up, show you what's inside here for 1 day's worth of calories. This is kind of a lot of food. I eat a lot. Got an inner child who likes to eat a lot of food. Got a Larry's cookie. I've got a few of these That's It bars in here, 2 of them, somewhere yet 2 of them. I've got a couple of RX bars, a couple of Chomps, 3 Chomps mini sticks, and then some Justin's nut butter, which I'll spread, peanut butter, which I'll spread on some of these bars, and then a Nature's Bakery bar. So quite a bit of food per day, but I hate being hungry. So just leave that there. Last item I'm taking in food-wise is Perfect bars for breakfast. I've talked about this before, but 2 of these are 2.5 ounces a piece, so 5 ounces, really dense nutritionally. One of these have 340 calories a piece, so 680 calories from 2 of these bars. I throw 2 of those in my pack in the morning and my lid, my pack, and just eat them whenever I feel like eating. And I feel like those keep me full for a good chunk of the morning as well. I also have, because it's summer, it's still summer really, and it's hot out, I've got some Element hydration sticks. I try and do 1 of these a day to make sure I'm not neglecting my electrolytes. Okay, sleep setup and clothing over here. So I've got this stuff sack. This is an Exped stuff sack that I use to blow up my air mattress, my Exped air mattress. This is like the Ultra 3R air mattress, I believe it's called. I've got our Elite Dream pillow. I've got our Ringcon 2P Pro tent, and I'm gonna sleep on this sheet of Tyvek that you see everything sitting on over here. TP for obvious reasons. I've got my trusty bandana for sun protection. Got a First Light beanie, some First Light soft shell gloves, 3/4 length merino bottoms from First Light. I've got our prototype of our Guide Air fleece over there. Patagonia Nano Air puffy. Super light First Light rain jacket, and then I've got the Patagonia Chamberlain jacket over here. So this is for me, I know this is a great layering kit. I can be comfortable, down to like freezing temperatures with all of this gear here, and hopefully I'll be using it all early and late, because it should be relatively cool at higher elevation, which we're going to be going to early and late in the morning. I've got the Crispy Leaponia, I think 3 boots over there, and I've got 1 extra pair of socks in addition to what I'm wearing. I'm also, obviously this is what I'm gonna be wearing on the hike in. I've got our Vesper pants and Bitterbrush right here. These are a prototype of these pants. Been real happy. I've been wearing them all summer scouting. Been very, very happy with how these are working. Then I've got a Sitka Core Merino lightweight. I think this is the 120 Merino shirt on. Obviously I've got a ball cap on, and I've got my Crocs on, which are gonna go on the outside of my pack. And then the last thing that I'm wearing up the mountain is our Kodiak belt right here. Love this belt. It's a great belt, fits under the pack, and I can also sharpen my knife with it if I need to. Oh, and one more thing. I forgot because my knees are on it, but I've got my butt glass and pad right here that I'm using my knees on, which I will be taking up the hill. And then the last thing I'll mention is that just my weapon right here. I've got the Hoyt RX9 Ultra with some day 6 arrows and day 6 Evo 100 grain broadheads. Been shooting that bow this year, hunted with it in Hawaii and killed 6 animals with it. It's been real happy with it so far. So hopefully if we get into a situation where I'm lucky enough to get a shot, hopefully it does its job out here as well. And then I've got the EXO K4 4800 pack. It's gonna be a tight fit to get all this stuff in there, but it will fit. And now I'm gonna show you how I pack everything up. First thing I'm gonna do when I pack up is I've got a little ditty sack here. I'm gonna grab all these small items here, put them in this ditty sack. Charger, phone cable, lighters, chapstick I'm actually gonna keep in my pocket. Long handled spoon's gonna go in here. Paracord's gonna go in here. Trash bag's gonna go in here. License and tags are gonna go in here. Actually, my toothbrush and toothpaste are gonna go in here too. Okay. And then I'm gonna pack up my food in a stuffed sack. Now I'm trying to want to keep the heaviest item, which is gonna be my lunches and breakfast, these bars, kind of as close to my back as possible and up off the bottom of the pack a little ways so that weight rides just a little bit better. So put these in here. with my coffee, my bars. I'll leave my hydration out so I can have access to it if I want to filter water and grab some of it. So the first thing I'm going to put in my pack though is going to be my sleeping bag. I don't use the stuff sack very often in my sleeping bag. I like to kind of stuff it down to the bottom, and then I'll kind of stuff around it, let that down compress. Feel like it's just a little bit more efficient use of space. I know I'm not going to need my sleeping bag until I get to wherever we're going. So I'm going to stuff that down there a little bit. And then I'm going to put this on the back side of the sleeping bag. So it'll sit down on that sleeping bag a little bit. And I'm just going to shove it down. Press that sleeping bag. There we go. Heavy stuff like my stove that I know I won't need access to will go down there. Just down on the bottom side. And you can kind of see how that's filling out the bottom of the pack, so there's no dead space down there, which is what I like. I'm gonna take this ditty stack's gonna go on the outside here, along with the water bottle. And shove that down here on the side pouch. And with the spotter, put this on the other side. Undo these buckles, make my life easier. Get this all the way down in here. Okay. Next thing I'm going to do is take my tent, my pad. Whoa, I can reach it. Shove this down on one side. Take my pad, shove it down. I'm going to take my game bags. I like to keep these kind of in an outside pouch so they're accessible, along with hydration stuff. Close up the Ziploc bag. I like to keep my water filtration and my headlamp handy. So headlamp's going to go in the side pocket right here. Stuff that in there. I'm also going to put my eye patch in there, my handy eye patch. So that's down in there. I'm going to put this in the lid of the pack, along with my sunglass pouch. Oh. Put my platy bladders. Where I can kind of press them down. Put them over here with my spotter. There's room. Okay. I usually like to put these in a stuff sack, but I found that you can really kind of stack these in opposite directions and just help save a little space. So I'm going to do that right now. Just shove these down on top here. Opposite directions. My air blow up mattress stuff sack in here. Knife cup. Stuff my cup in here, kind of on the side. Again, just trying to kind of push anything down that I can on top of that sleeping bag. I like to keep my knife in this very top pouch on top here so I have good access to it, quick access to it. Outside, stocking socks, gonna go in the top lid so I can get to those, along with my bandana. I'm gonna put TP, easily accessible, here on the outside. Now we're gonna start putting clothes in here, pillow, everything else. I don't really care about having quick access to everything, but you see I can kind of still slide stuff down around the front of the pack here. I haven't quite maxed her out yet, believe it or not. Everything else is going to go, for the most part, on the outside of the pack. Got water bottle. Forgot to put my second water bottle in here, but I'll do that in a second. Water bottle in the carrier. Forgot a snack. Obviously I'm gonna be wearing my boots, but this extra pair of socks right here, it's gonna go in here, down jacket, gonna go on top. Okay, got that all down. Oh, I forgot a couple things here. This is normal. Don't always get everything perfect the first time. Put this down there. Binos, be wearing these obviously. In reach. Gonna go on the binos. Got my med kit. This other water bottle. Let me get this stuff off the Tyvek so I can get that packed up. Our half floor for our Ringcon, I just forgot to bring it, is actually lighter than this sheet of Tyvek and compacts down better. But sometimes when you're real busy with life, you just forget to pack everything. And I forgot to pack everything, but I have this sheet of Tyvek, thankfully. And I know someone's gonna ask how much this pack weighs with everything in it. And the answer is, like, I don't know because I don't have a scale here. But I'll bet with 2 liters of water, just knowing my kit, 2 liters of water and bow, I should be somewhere just above 50 pounds with all this stuff. So right in that ballpark. Set this water bottle on top of my pack. Get my lid situated, and I'll attach my bow and my tripod. I'm going to be using my trekking poles, so those won't go on my pack. Kind of amazing when you lay all your gear out and you look at this pack and you think, okay, 6 days worth of food. It seems like you won't be able to get it all in there, but it actually does work. I think this size of pack is kind of ideal for that 5 to 6 day range. I mean, I could probably fit a 7th day in here of food if I really needed to, but I find that 7 days is starting to get into that size where you might want just a little bit bigger pack. Okay, I attached the bow to the outside of my pack here. I'm using these 2 straps on the outside. Put my glassing pad in here, my butt pad, sit pad, whatever you want to call it. Okay. And then I've got my release on here. I like to connect it to the bottom, and then I kind of tuck the part that likes to dangle underneath the bow just to keep it from swinging around and making noise, which is really annoying when you're hiking around, or at least it is to me. Try and center it up, pull it, make sure my buckle is not riding on my cable. And then I like to got my shelf here right against my backpack, so the bow is resting right there. And then I run this top strap. You can run it over the bow here. I like this. They've got these little gaps in the bow here that are kind of handy for strapping it down, just to keep it from swinging. And the top, I like to run over my sight. I don't like to go too tight, just enough to kind of keep it from moving around, just like that. And it's perfect. Let me grab everything else. I'll put the snack in my pocket. So now, packed up and ready to go. So if you have any questions about any of the gear I'm taking, or anything I did here, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I appreciate you watching.